What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And today I want to talk about the similarities and the science fiction of Halo, Master Chief Collection, and Mass Effect, and why I actually think that these games are very much similar to these type of game genres. While Mass Effect is in a fantasy science fiction world, much like Halo Combat Evolved, these games really share amongst other things when it comes to variety of weapons, different types of creatures or enemies, and vice versa. But I think what makes the Halo Legendary Edition so unique, other than the combat evolved of Halo, these games really fall under line and are very well streamlined to becoming of today's modern gaming in general. So this is the reason why I like making these videos. I love making comparative videos to that are similar to that of, like the first person shooter genre or the action adventure like Assassin's Creed and Uncharted. But I think when it comes to Mass Effect and Halo Combat Evolved, these games very fall under the same category as I previously mentioned to a certain degree. They are both shooters. Mass Effect is a third person shooter. Halo is a first person shooter. But they all share one commonality. It's the fantasy science fiction world of both games. Okay, what I really want to talk about Mass Effect first here is that this game is still utterly fantastically amazing. It's the story, it's the conceptual design of the philosophy of this game, and not only that, it's the fact that this game really pertains a really unique story to it. Much like Halo Combat Evolved back in the day as well, that game was the pinnacle of all FPSs when it came to the original Doom games, or the Quakes, or the Unreals, right? But other than that, these games really are popular. And the reason why these games are so highly popular and so well loved is because of its worlds, its progressive story mechanics, and its systems, and what these games really provide of having a massive fun factor as to why a lot of people play these games still today. I'm sure that when it comes to Halo Combat Evolved or even the Master Chief Collection, these games are indeed the most pinnacle of FPSs of all time, amongst others. But I think when it comes to the Mass Effect Legendary Edition or just Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, these games are just simply amazing. I played 1 through 2 of Mass Effect. I played all three Master Chief games, which is what Halo 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. But I would safe to say that these games still are absolutely amazing. And the reason why they're so amazing is because, as I previously mentioned, it's the reason why these games are the most important games ever amongst from Doom or Quake and other games that we've had grown to love and play on PC or on console. And it goes to show you how great that these games really fall underline and pertain to be the most important games of over a decade. And I think when it comes to Halo Master Chief Collection or even Halo 1, 2, 3, if you're playing on Xbox One or on Xbox Series X and S, those games still hold up today. I do play Halo once in a while, and they still amazingly well hold up. But I think when it comes to the Mass Effect trilogy or the Legendary Edition, that these games still hold up today as well. And I love the first one. I absolutely love 2. And I still need to go through Mass Effect 3. And so I really think when it comes to Mass Effect more so, rather than just Halo Combat Evolved, it's the fact that these both games really do offer up some similarities as to it's the combat. The combat really falls underline fairly unique and very well, and using sniper rifles and pistols and grenade launchers and all these types of core gameplay mechanics to that of what Mass Effect the Legendary Edition does, and from what the Halo Master Chief Collection does as well, because you have all these different types of utilizations and mechanics of these weapons that you are able to use. But in Halo, you're only playing as Master Chief. But in the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, what this series really does is that it is a role playing element and mechanic to these games because of the fact that you can build your character. You can make a femshep or a male shep, and you can do different types of builds, right? You can do infiltrator, you can do soldier, you can do all these different types of builds in this game, and that's what makes this game even greater. Other than Halo. Halo, like I said, it's more of playing as Master Chief, right? Because Master Chief, he's basically a cyber engineered type of soldier or Spartan, as we all know what we call him. he's a total badass. I can tell you that right now. And when you play as a soldier in Mass Effect series, it's the combat in a certain way really just false similarity and differentiality between by playing the soldier in Mass Effect and playing as the Spartan in Halo. They do have some shared commonalities and similarities, and I think that's what makes these games so great, and why these games are so ultimately fun and so badass. Because like I said, I played through the first Mass Effect. I played through 2 as well, and I think 2 is by far the best one in the series, in my personal opinion. But like I said, I have not played through 3 yet because I guess I would say I'm a little opinionated on it, but I'm not going to mention that here. But other than that, I really think when it comes to Mass Effect 1 is absolutely amazing, is because of the fact it's not because of the character progression as you play as, no matter if you play as male Shep or fem Shep, and how you're able to basically show off different types of elements of surprise by doing certain types of builds. And that's what Halo does not do. Halo is just a standard alone FPS, but this game was utterly the most pinnacle and one of the most important games of its time because, and it still is to a certain degree, it's because a lot of people still go back and replay the Halo Master Chief Collection. And I think that's where, when it comes to Halo, though, it's still amazing. I love the way how you're just able to just venture out in the world. While Halo is not open world, it really isn't. It's more of a non-linear story, but it has some really interesting backdrops. It has really good environmental storytelling, much like the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which does it ultimately well. And that is why I believe that when it comes to Halo and comparing it to that a Mass Effect, or even the Mass Effect trilogy, I might add, like I said, there are some shared similarities there. But the only thing that Mass Effect has over Halo is the character creation and knowing what kind of build that you want to use and how you're going to use it and how to pertain or ascertain or certain perks or skills in the Mass Effect series, and that's what makes those games so differently from Halo, because Halo, like I said, does not have that type of implementation. But this is why I love Halo other than Mass Effect trilogy, is because it's just its own thing. It's its own FPS, as we all know to man. And while I do believe that Bungie, I really would love to see another exclusive coming from them, other than most of their games are multi-platform, like Destiny, not Halo, but just Destiny. Basically, Destiny is a multi-platform. But I know that Bungie is making a remake or a new IP known as Marathon, but we've already had Marathon back in the day, and which was actually one of their first original IPs back on PC, which were utterly fantastic and absolutely amazing as well, because I played all Marathon games and they were so good. But point being, I think comparing from Halo to the Mass Effect trilogy, like I said again, these games just share a really cool commonality towards them. And I think that's what makes these games so great, in my personal opinion. And it's the reason why I think that Halo and Mass Effect are, oh man, like I said before, they're just simply amazing. And I loved Halo 2, I loved Halo 3, but I'm just venturing a little bit off topic here, so that's my apologies on that. But that's why I'm saying that's where Mass Effect, or even just the whole entire trilogy itself, and Halo Master Chief Collection, or just Halo Combat Evolved, they're just so amazing, because it's the fact that when it came to Mass Effect trilogy, whether if you're playing 1, 2, or 3, they had some amazing environmental storytelling along with the gameplay structure of those games, and how the gameplay was somewhat important into the story of those games as well. And Halo actually does that though too. But that's one thing I really appreciated about Halo, other than Mass Effect, is that you do, like I said, you do have different types of weapons, much like, for example, like the Needler. It's like a submachine gun, but in needle form. and it's so cool. And it's the reason why I think that when it comes to Mass Effect, though, you really don't get alien weapons in Mass Effect, as far as I know, or as far as I remember. But you do get some Halo, but you do get some flood weapons in Halo. You know, like I said, the Needler, you have the plasma gun or the plasma rifle, and but you still can carry human weapons, much like the assault rifle or a submachine gun or a pistol. And but I think that's where the commonality and the differences or the similarities, what Halo Combat Evolved does versus from that of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. And so I think that's where these games, they're just so good because of those specific reasons. And I grew up playing Halo. I never really got into Mass Effect until later because of my brother. My brother actually introduced me to Mass Effect for the very first time, and I'm like, I'm just like, I don't know. But then once I finally got into the first Mass Effect, I'm like, holy shit. And it was just absolutely amazing from start to finish. And the reason why I love the first one so much, from other than from Halo, not Halo, but from Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, is the fact that you go up against Saren as the final boss fight to a certain degree in Mass Effect 1. But other than that, I think that's where Mass Effect 1 particularly, other than the trilogy itself, really they really do have a calm certainty that it's the reason why these games are so special amongst the community of gamers, whether if you're a Halo fan or a Mass Effect fan. But I really think that if you're going to be a Halo fan, you'll absolutely Mass Effect. There's no doubt in my mind that there are a lot of Halo fans that have played the Mass Effect. There are a lot of Mass Effect fans that have played Halo. And it's the reason why that these games, like I said, they share their own type of similarities and commonalities. And I think that's what makes these games so awesome. And it's the fact that, like I said before, I know I intend to repeat myself one more time here. It's the fact that both of these games or trilogy, they have amazing environmental storytelling. They have amazing vistas and backdrops. These games still hold up as of today in 2024, my personal opinion. And it's amazing of how far these games have come when it comes to old school FPSs or old school games, much like Mass Effect or Quake or Doom or that sort of thing. And I think that's why I'm saying I would love to see a new Halo come out, other than already than Infinite coming that's already been out. I would love to see another Mass Effect. I know that another Mass Effect game is in the works, and I really can't wait for that. But other than that, I really think when it comes to Halo and Mass Effect, it's the reason these games are another reason why I am a gamer. These games are another reason why I'm so passionate when it comes to gaming in general. And it's another reason why I like making videos about this kind of stuff, is because this is what I'd normally like to do on my channel, as I previously mentioned before. I love talking about the mechanics of a game, what makes the game so great in terms of the gameplay or any kind of mechanics that these games really endure, or how they're going to be utilized in a unique sort of way, or how well the game's going to be optimized when it comes to its frames per second. And what I will say is that I'm still, for the upteenth time, I'm still stoked. Every single time when I boot up the Mass Effect trilogy again, for how many times I've played it, it's still utterly amazing. And it's the same exact feel when I try to at least go back to Halo, the Master Chief Collection, or just Combat Evolved itself alone. And I really think that if we do get games that have some old school effects, much like I previously mentioned in a video that I made before on Assassin's Creed Mirage, opposite that of Assassin's Creed Origins, there's no doubt in my mind I will love to see another one of those games in typical old school fashion again, much like what Mirage does into a certain type of aspect or concept to it. And I think that's what makes these games so fascinating as well. But overall, and in final, I really think that Halo Combat Evolved, it's still one of the most amazing games of its time, much like the Mass Effect trilogy. And it's the reason why, and that's another reason why these games will always go down in history as one of the most important games of all time, amongst others. And like I said, when it comes to a new Mass Effect coming out, or when it comes to another new Halo coming out and bringing maybe some old school elements back to that would be utterly amazing as well. And so that's what I'm saying. And it's really so cool. So, but anyways, too much further ado. This is Jake from Citizen JB. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Any comments or questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. And you guys have a good rest of your week. And happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there in the world of the USA. Peace.